We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Twitter, gun control, the Taliban, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lupkin, and here's the news you need to know. Elon Musk booted former FBI General Counsel James Baker from the company for suppression of information. Baker was at the center of the Twitter suppression scandal and has been featured repeatedly in the Russian investigation launched by the Justice Department, including the hoax involving the Russian Alpha Bank. In light of concerns about Baker's possible role in suppression of information important to the public dialogue, he was exited from Twitter, Musk tweeted. Among the documents revealed in Friday's Twitter files was a message from Baker during a discussion about suppressing the New York Post laptop story, saying, "I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked," but added, "It's reasonable for us to assume that they may have been and that caution is warranted." Loudoun County Superintendent Scott Ziegler was fired by the school board this week in response to a grand jury report on the district's handling of two sexual assaults committed by the same student. The Northern Virginia district drew national attention last year after a father accused it at a school board meeting of covering up his daughter's sexual assault, in which a biological boy wearing a skirt raped her in the girl's bathroom. The suspect then transferred to another school in the district and assaulted another girl and faced charges in both cases. The father alleged the district had attempted to cover up his daughter's assault to advance its transgender policy, which had been subject to parental protests at LCPS school board meetings. The grand jury report, released this week, said the district was looking out for its own interests instead of the best interests of its students, and that the school system failed at every juncture. The Taliban carried out its first public execution of a prisoner since returning to power in Afghanistan last year, a spokesperson for the Islamic fundamentalist group said Wednesday. Senior Taliban leaders attended the execution in western Farah, province, of a man accused of fatally stabbing another man in 2017. The victim's father carried out the execution, shooting the condemned man 3 times. 3 courts investigated the case, and the Taliban's supreme spiritual leader authorized the sentence. Before the execution, Afghanistan's Supreme Court announced that public lashings of men and women for certain offenses, including robbery and adultery, had been carried out in several provinces recently. The United Nations Human Rights Office has called for the Taliban to halt such punishments. A federal judge ruled Thursday that Oregon's ban on high-capacity magazines could take effect, but hours later, a state circuit judge blocked the new gun law. The law would ban the manufacture, purchase, or sale of magazines capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition, and would require prospective gun buyers to take a safety course and pass a background check to get a permit for their firearm purchases. It also would close the Charleston loophole in federal law, which allows people to get newly purchased guns after 3 days if a background check hasn't been completed. Harney County Circuit Court Judge Robert Rashio said the law, Measure 114, would violate the state constitution by leaving people unable to lawfully purchase a firearm or bear a magazine capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition in Oregon. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.